Download this code and get free GPT-4o from codegive.com, link in the description below. Debugging in SQL Server involves identifying and resolving issues within your SQL queries, procedures, or functions. SQL Server provides several tools and techniques to assist with debugging, including SQL Server Management Studio, ssms, the SQL Server Profiler, and built-in functions. Below, you'll find a tutorial that covers the basics of debugging in SQL Server, along with code examples. ####1 Using SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS. SSMS provides a graphical interface to help you debug your SQL code. You can set breakpoints, step through code, and inspect variables. #####Steps to debug SQL code in SSMS. 1. Open SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS. 2. Connect to your SQL Server instance. 3. Open a new query window and write your SQL code. ###### Example code. Let's say we have a stored procedure that calculates the total sales for a given product. Here's the code for the procedure. SQL. Create procedure get total sales. Add product ID int. As. Begin. Declare at total sales decimal, 10, 2. Select at total sales equals sum, amount. From sales. Where product ID equals at product ID. Return at total sales. End. 4. Set a breakpoint. Click on the left margin next to the line of code where you want to set a breakpoint, example on the line select at total sales equals sum, amount. 5. Execute the procedure. Use F5 or click on the execute button to run the procedure. 6. Step through the code. Use F11 to step into the code and F10 to step over. This allows you to execute one line at a time, inspecting variables and flow. 7. Watch variables. Use the watch window to monitor the value of at total sales and other variables. ####2 Using print statements. A simple yet effective way to debug SQL code is to insert print statements at various points in your code to output variable values or messages. ##### Example code. You can modify the previous example to include print statements. SQL. Create procedure get total sales. Add product ID int. As. Begin. Declare at total sales decimal, 10, 2. Print calculating total sales for product ID, plus cast, at product ID as varchar, 10. Select at total sales equals sum, amount. From sales. Where product ID equals at product ID. Print total sales calculated, plus cast, at total sales as varchar, 20. Return at total sales. End. ####3 Using try, catch for error handling. Using try, catch blocks can help catch and handle errors gracefully in your SQL code. ##### Example code. Here's how you can implement error handling in the stored procedure. SQL. Create procedure get total sales. Add product ID int. As. Begin. Begin try. Declare at total sales decimal, 10, 2. Print calculating total sales for product ID, plus cast, at product ID as varchar, 10. Select at total sales equals sum, amount. From sales. Where product ID equals at product ID. Print total sales calculated, plus cast, at total sales as varchar, 20. Return at total sales. End try. Begin catch. print error occurred, plus error underscore message. Return null. End catch. End. #####4. Using SQL Server Profiler. SQL Server Profiler is a powerful tool for capturing SQL Server events and is particularly useful for performance troubleshooting. #####Steps to use SQL Server Profiler. 1. Open SQL Server Profiler. 2. Create a new trace and connect to your SQL Server instance. 3. Select events to capture, such as SQL Batch Completed or RPC Completed. 4. Run your SQL code and observe the events captured in Profiler. ####5. Analyzing execution plans. Execution plans can provide insights into how SQL Server is executing your queries, helping identify performance issues. ##### Steps to view execution plans. 1. In ssms, click on the Include Actual Execution Plan, the icon with a small execution plan. 2. Execute your query, and after it runs, the execution plan will be available in a new tab. ###Conclusion. Debugging SQL Server code requires a combination of tools and techniques. By using ssms debugging features, print statements, error handling with try, catch, SQL Server Profiler, and execution plans, you can effectively identify and resolve issues in your SQL code. Always remember to test your changes thoroughly and consider performance implications when debugging and optimizing your queries.